Welcome to the American Forked Podcast, episode 99.
Yay!
Made possible by listeners like you.
99 bottles of podcast.
Nope.
We have Cobbler now.
No, Jake.
Cool.
They're not a sponsor.
Buy one today.
They're not a sponsor.
But
you just like
eat
them. You just like them.
Isn't that how it works?
No.
You just advertise for things that you like?
Brought to you by pizza.
Yeah.
Because I ate some.
Yeah. Like, I'm here because I ate
That's
pizza.
True. That's not untrue.
So thanks for listening. We have our regular cast and crew here today. Jeff.
Hello. Hi, Jakey.
Is with me.
I'm right here.
And Phil is also in the room.
Yeah.
What up?
Oh, here you are.
There he
so
is.
Glad you could attend.
I'm back.
I wasn't sure where you were, Bill, because I couldn't see your shirt.
Oh, yeah, I didn't wear
It's a low-vis shirt.
You guys made fun of me so many times, and I cried and cried myself to sleep so many nights that I finally was like, I caved to the social pressure.
Now I'm going to wear a maroon shirt with red shorts.
Dark maroon shirt with bright red shorts.
I'm going to blend in.
Coupon code American Fork Yourself
No, that's not.
for 20% off.
Jake, you need to stop. We're not sponsored by them. We're going to get sued.
Cease and desist.
They're going to take both of our dollars that are in the COVID jar.
We'll go to court for all of our Patreon dollars.
Both of them.
Both of our
Both
Patreon
dollars are going to be gone.
So, So, hello, everybody. Thank you for listening. As I mentioned, this is episode 99, which is a biggie. Not as big as the next one.
99.
100 is next.
100 is three numbers, and 99 is two numbers. And that means it's bigger.
That's
And also 99 is like the beginning of bottles of beer on the wall and fluff balloons. Fluff
Red balloons. 99 red balloons.
Red balloons.
Go by.
Yeah. So it's a good...
And 99 problems.
Yeah, but this podcast ain't one.
Exactly. 99 has all kinds of songs.
I know.
Why doesn't the beer song start at a
100?
different number?
100 bottles of beer.
It doesn't work.
Oh, 99 bottles.
100 bottles of beer on the... That would work.
It doesn't.
Yeah, just fine.
100 bottles.
100 bottles of beer on the wall. 100 bottles of... It works.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Totally
Sounds
works.
terrible.
It does, but nobody ever starts.
Is that because no walls fit 100 bottles of beer?
Not.
99 is the maximum number of bottles.
Yeah,
Okay.
it has something to do with the square root of a rectangle.
Of a pie.
Yeah.
Pie. Yes. So I'm going to begin by starting with American Fork News. So this one I called Discrimination Industries.
Oh.
So there was an article that came out that clarified all of the things that are not allowed for you to donate to Deseret Industries.
Oh, I get
Oh, this
it.
is a good.
Discrimination industry.
This one's actually really good for my wife. We need to get her to tune into this. Because she's always like, I'm saving that for DI. And I'm like, I'm telling you, they're going to throw
After
that
today,
right in
you
the
can be like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You can't.
They're not going to take an empty jar of pickles.
Yeah.
Like,
So there is a list of things that DI will not accept. So DI, for those of you who don't know, because you live in either under a rock or not in
Utah.
the original boundary of the original state of Deseret,
Oh, yeah.
because I think there are some in Arizona and Vegas and
Idaho.
it's a
Idaho.
thrift store.
Yeah.
It's a thrift store. It's like Goodwill.
Yeah, it's like Goodwill.
So there is a list of things that the DI will not accept. And I would like you guys to try and guess some of those lists, some of those things in the list, and I will tell you if you're correct or not.
CRT TVs and monitors.
You've read this before?
Nope.
Jeff-
I've tried to donate them.
Yeah, Jeff knows. He's like the flea market master. So he knows all this, everything you're going to say.
I don't know this list, but I've tried to donate one before, and they're like, we don't take this.
Really?
Yeah.
Mattresses.
So
Hold on.
CRT TVs and monitors are on the list under the category of large appliances and some electronics.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Other things are washing machines, dishwashers, freezers, refrigerators, dryers, water coolers. Trash compactors,
Yeah.
CRT TVs and monitors, and rear projection televisions.
Oh,
They no longer have
are
those.
huge.
Yeah,
And so annoying.
and heavy.
Yeah. You can't give them away.
You could sell the magnifying glass inside it for more than it's worth.
Probably, yeah. Okay, Phil said mattresses.
So Phil said mattresses, and he's correct. Mattresses and box springs are not accepted, which makes sense.
Because they're
that's
kind of gross.
Gross.
Yeah.
Probably some type of clothing isn't acceptable. Underwear.
All clothing is
it's accepted.
Oh, really?
They process it, though.
Underwear?
Yeah.
What do you mean by process it?
They clean it.
Pour lye all over it?
They lie about cleaning it, yeah.
Yeah.
They do have dumpsters in the back. I'm sure they toss it out if it appears
Yeah, I'm sure. If
lye is not going to.
I'm sure if there's actual duty in your underwear, they'll probably throw it out. But you got to think.
But go ahead.
The DI also, they don't just sell stuff. They also keep stuff and send it overseas to other people.
Yeah.
And so clothing, like there's no bad clothing. Like clothing
if it's
will always
usable
be
by
accepted.
people in Honduras or.
Yeah, I mean, if it's in okay
80.
shape and it's not holes all over it, and,
Yeah.
you know.
They'll say.
If they feel they probably shouldn't sell it, they ship it off.
What about shoes?
But they do say before that, that nothing wet or mildewy. So some underwear may fall in that category.
Yeah.
That's true, Phil.
Mine.
That's true, Phil.
It's mine. Let's be honest.
Shoes, they sell shoes all day there.
Yeah, shoes.
I get my kids'
shoes are accepted.
My son, my 4-year-old, I buy shoes all the time.
Yeah?
Like thrift stores. Yeah, because he beats the crap out of them, and he hates half the shoes we buy him anyways. So
Yeah.
Why not spend $3 on a pair of shoes that's going to last 4 months?
You should just do what my kids do and don't wear shoes.
yeah, it's really good because then their feet get wider, and then when they're older, they can't physically buy shoes. They're like, I'm a size 14 width, but size 9 length.
When you don't wear shoes?
Your feet get wider.
Really?
Did you not know this?
I didn't.
I never knew that.
Is that like a myth? Like if you shave
No.
your arm hair, it gets thicker?
No. And I know it. I know this because I have a friend. Her name's Estella. Hi, Estella. If you're listening.
Hey, Estella. Thanks for listening.
She grew up in the jungle in Venezuela,
Uh-huh.
or I think it was in Venezuela. She'll kill me. But then this white dude came down and married her mom, and they moved to Wyoming because that's
where you go.
So
That's
she
the
grew
next
up
step.
from 0 to 13, never even wearing a pair of shoes ever in her whole life.
Yeah.
And then she started putting on shoes, and her feet are they're wide.
Yeah.
Your feet are
Hobbit.
naturally wide.
Like Hobbit feet.
When you walk around barefoot, you think.
I know for sure.
Oh.
Google it. Google never lies.
So does it?
Too far away.
Also Google flat Earth. It's true.
Oh,
If it's online, it's real.
that's right.
No, but it does. And like feet doctor guys, that's why they actually kind of like Crocs because
Uh-huh.
Crocs are a wide toed. In fact, the shoes I'm wearing are like wide toed. Look, I'm going to show you. See how wide they are in the front?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
We
because
see
that's
that.
like your foot's natural width, apparently.
Yeah. That's what they say about those Ultra shoes. They're supposed to be good because they have like a wide toe box.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree. I've noticed, like, I would consider my feet to be narrow feet,
Uh-huh.
but I can't stand narrow shoes. Like, I need a wide shoe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because your feet have been forced into narrowism
I
this whole
think-
life.
I think so.
You need to free those dogs.
Free the feet.
free them.
Free
the
those
feet.
dogs. That's a new thing, by the way. Feet are called dogs. You heard this?
Dogs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
got some salty dogs.
Oh,
I always say that. Don't act like I don't say that every backpacking trip.
That's what I always say.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
always say.
See?
My dogs are wet.
My dogs
don't
are barking.
Don't step in that pond. You
Got
get your
some-
dogs wet.
Got some moist dogs.
My dogs smell. Stinky.
So
What
dumb.
else does DI not accept?
Oh, yeah.
Murder weapons.
Murder weapons, firearms, and ammunition.
Yeah, they don't.
Knives.
Firearms
they take
and ammunition.
knives.
They do
Nunchucks?
take knives.
I haven't seen any
There's a-
nunchucks there.
Swords.
A ton of knives there
Yeah, they
Oh, are
sell a
there?
lot of knives. In fact, that's
in
one
the
of the
kitchen
things,
section. It's like bins full of just knives.
Yeah, it's kind of sketchy actually, but they sell 'em.
I got a meat cleaver from there.
Did you?
Nice heavy one. Cut right
for
through
the
chicken
audio.
bones. That's what it sounds like when I hit the table with my hand.
I'm literally going through my mind. What don't they have at the DI? They take pianos. They got that crap all the time.
I don't know. Just tell us.
Hazardous chemicals or flammable
Oh, come
products.
on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we could have told
Paint.
you that. Toilets.
wet or mildewy stuff.
We said
No food or leftover medications.
Construction
come
debris or supplies.
Didn't say that.
Oh,
So
they have a lot of hardware.
if you want to
do
take
they?
sheet metal,
Like 2x4s and.
Oh no, hardware like hinges, doorknobs,
Oh, okay.
light fixtures.
Oh.
Actually, when I went to go sell my house, I needed to replace some light fixtures. I actually saw some. I'm like, I'm getting these. They were like $2 a piece.
Yeah. And then you
on
sold your house.
chicken coop, or your.
$400 million.
700,000.
So I considered that American Fork News because the American Fork DI takes more donations than any other Deseret Industries.
Oh,
In the world?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
pretty cool. That's a good DI too. I've been
Because in
there.
the world is 4 states.
Yeah,
I wonder why that is.
because people in American Fork have a lot of crap.
I would think the one in
It's the only way to get rid of it.
that's probably
And
true.
it's the only. It's the only thrift store in the area.
I would have thought Provo's would be worse because Provo is in the middle of 2 universities,
Yeah,
and those students are always moving, getting rid of couches.
bringing back
stuff
the
like
stuff they
that.
bought from there at the
Yeah.
beginning of the
Yeah.
school year.
That they just rented from DI. Yeah, do they have a rental program?
But
Awesome.
you know what it probably is they don't have a car to get the stuff to DI.
Or it's a Toyota Yaris.
Yeah, so it just gets put out on the street. I don't know.
With their mattresses.
Well, shout out to American Fork High School's DI High School,
American Fork.
the city.
Discrimination Industries.
Yeah.
Hey,
Utah news. There's a killer mountain goats on Timpanogos.
oh, I heard about this.
What?
Yeah, so mountain goats are notoriously kind of shy and will they're not very aggressive animals, but there was one instance where just recently. So anyway, mountain goat killings of dogs there have been 3 just in the last month or 2.
Really?
Reported ones, yeah. So one instance was a dog was barking at a mountain goat by her babies.
Yeah.
And so she pushed it off a cliff
Makes sense.
and it died. And then
Now these are like 4-legged furry woof woof dogs. Not
these
feet.
are like these are
aren't
not feet, not the 10-toed dogs, but the 4-foot dogs.
4-legged.
Four-legged dogs.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
I got it now.
The bark ones.
Okay, good.
And then through 2 or 3 weeks later in the same area at Mount Timpanogos, some hikers had their dogs with them and were harassing the mountain goats, and they ended up gourding them to death with their horns.
Yeah, I think the dogs or the goats are feeling about like I am.
Just hate dogs.
Too many of
Global warming? Oh,
them. They're everywhere. And
Dogs?
people don't have them on their leash. They're just like
Yeah, they think they just can walk into Walmart without them.
walking out. Exactly.
They're like, oh, these are my kids. You're like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Those kids have kids.
That's Jake, though. Don't be mean to his dogs.
You don't take your dogs inside stores, do you?
no.
Unless it's like PetSmart, which they encourage that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. They're not people. We recognize them as animals.
Yeah, Phil.
Oh, well, most people,
I hate
I've
you.
noticed a lot of places cracking down on that. I'm just talking about on the trail
Uh-huh.
when it says leash your dog. And then
Oh,
you're
yeah.
you're jogging downhill in the gravel.
Actually, I have no idea. I've never done it.
Oh, I do it once a week or every other week.
Okay. But yeah, no, I know what you're saying. You're supposed to have your dogs leashed and under control, and people just let them go. And
Yeah.
oh, they died by a wild animal. Super unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but-
it is sad, but
I mean, kind of expected it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So leash your dogs in areas that dogs should be leashed in, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And teach them the command, don't mess with that goatee.
Yeah, mountain goat bad.
Mountain goat bad. And then they lay down.
Yeah,
I get it.
That's what I always say.
that's what Phil always says. National news. It is the first Republican debate currently right now.
Oh,
as
yeah.
we speak.
Tonight.
What's the deal with Fox News being like, nobody can watch this debate? We're going to do it under a blanket.
It's only aired on Fox News and as far as the national news is concerned, it's only aired on Fox News.
Well,
but
it's
but
weird.
it's on other networks that
It's gonna
they'll watch it and comment on what's going on. Like,
Well, it's going to be on YouTube, I'm sure, isn't it?
it's on. Yeah, it's
No,
on.
I actually tried to look it up on YouTube.
Oh, and it wasn't going to be?
I found it on YouTube
YouTube?
on Steven Crowder's channel.
Stephanie Chowder?
Who is in that debate? Do we know?
Most of them, but Trump.
So
DeSantis.
DeSantis is there.
There's
Chris
a
Christie.
white guy.
Chris Christie.
That one. There's a brown guy.
My guy Vivek Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy.
Is that what's up with
Tim
him?
Scott, the black guy.
What's his like polling? Ramaswamy
So
guy.
he's, other than Iowa, which is the major one, and another one, he's like third. So Trump, DeSantis, Ramaswamy.
So what does that mean? Is he like 1%?
7.
7? Oh, okay.
I think it's like Trump, like really high, and then DeSantis is significantly lower than him, and yeah, third place and lower, all 7 or less.
7. Well, 7's not terrible. Yeah, I was pretty surprised that Trump skipped it.
Yeah, why do you think he did?
Well, it is a tactic that I don't know if it's what the tactic he chose to do, and some candidates have been successful in the past, basically saying, bowing out of the first debate to give voters and donors of other candidates the mindset of he already thinks it's over, like he knows he's the candidate, and so a lot of supporters of the other candidates are going to be less likely to support it. Just kind of playing. I don't know if that's his idea, playing with the minds of the people, but it could be because he's under all this legal stuff that's going on. I don't know.
I think he's doing it as like an FU to Fox because they're not like his little pretty boy now.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I think Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump are going to be doing an interview soon, tonight or tomorrow or something, and that's kind of like everyone's has the idea that that's kind of like the screw you Fox News type thing.
And it's got to hurt Fox because I would imagine less than half the people will tune in.
Yeah,
without Trump, because Trump's just like a car wreck that you can't look away from.
Yeah, all the never Trumpers are going to be like, why would I watch?
Yeah,
I may watch commentary on it, but that's about it.
I think it's more than a car wreck.
Well, I just mean
train wreck, really long train.
If Trump were going to be on the debate and people were actually going to be like bringing up all these indictments and stuff, a lot of people would tune into that.
Oh, I would have, sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
just to see what he says, like how he responds to it, like in an environment where it's not like
instant memes, T-shirts being printed tonight, and for sale. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, the economy would be booming.
Yeah, exactly.
Political,
stuff a meme
the political economy.
Yeah, political.
Because I heard something where they said that Trump has been cut off from Fox News's like spin room or whatever, or like, and they said that in quotes, but it's like pretty much they're like when somebody needs something like handled or spun a good way, they call this department at Fox News or whatever. Anyway, they've cut him off. So
the spin room.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it exists makes me go, yeah, I don't really like them.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Well, it's got to exist in all the major networks. Yeah. Because that makes perfect sense.
You got to have a group that is able to spin the things so that they sound better or, more appealing.
Because that's how it always was with Trump. He'd do something and Fox was like, oh, that's so dumb. It's nothing. And then Biden does something and MSNBC's like, Trump is dumb, huh?
Am I right?
Right, guys? Yeah.
So it's like,
another
it's
indictment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of indictments, world news actually has nothing to do with indictments, but I was just trying to segue.
10 out of 10 segue. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Something that has nothing to do with anything that I'm about to bring up.
Yeah. This thing. World news. So I have a little bit of a fun twist on this. It's going to be 2 truths and a lie. I'm going to read off 3 news article titles, and you guys will tell me which 2 are true and which one is false.
Okay.
Or just which one is false, because then by process of elimination, the other 2 will be true.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. The first one.
B. Oh. Sorry. I'll hit the listen to it
7.
first.
False.
3.
C. Number 1. Kim Jong Un executes cabinet member for mismanagement of flood prevention.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 1. Number 2. India becomes first country to land on South Pole of the moon. And number 3. Donald Trump surrenders and is going to jail.
Is going to jail?
Well, it's not. 3 is false because as of this recording, he has not surrendered or gone to jail.
I'll rephrase it to Trump to surrender to Fulton County Jail.
Yeah. So it's the Korea one is false.
Korea one is false.
Even though it did sound very
it's because it's the most believable.
So,
but I don't.
It sounds.
We know
accurate.
we know how you're trying to trickery us.
Yeah.
So you're correct. Technically, the North Korea. Did I say South Korea? North Korea one is false. But the actual article title is North Korea's Kim slams irresponsible premier over flood damage.
Oh, he slammed him.
So he lambasted him and said that he's guilty of sitting on the sidelines, basically. The premier, the North Korea's premier is like a head of his cabinet type guy who would be responsible for the infrastructure of the country to prevent from, in this case, flooding that's been occurring in the west end of North Korea.
It's got to be tough for a countrywide cult that believes that their leader like rains food and good weather out of the heaven, and then there's like a big mudslide, and everyone's like, what's up, leader?"
It's like it's his fault.
Yeah,
it's a big food shortage.
So I can see how he'd be mad at somebody for not controlling the weather better.
I'm going to see if I can show you the images because we know on a podcast, there's nothing better
than images,
than visuals.
Yep.
That Phil describes.
Mm-hmm. So
he's actually waiting out in the marshes with like 4 other dudes. Kim Jong.
Well, these have become marshes, but because of the flood. But
okay.
But it's funny because I mean these you got this young dictator leader. They had a ton of images I could go through, but I'd have to link to the article. But anyway, so all the images are like this, them standing in the flood and some old guys around him with notepads, and they're all like diligently taking notes of everything that he's saying, writing it down. And there were like 5 or 6 images in different places, and they're all doing that. It's like vigorously writing, afraid of being like killed if they don't write something down.
Having their arm chopped off.
But he blamed his premier. I can't remember his name. It's on there somewhere, but he blamed him for being irresponsible and not managing the flood.
Did you hear about that Russia guy that just died?
Yes, I did.
Was that
and
part
that
of
was
your
going to
story?
be one of the ones I was thinking about sharing in my 2-in-1. But so it was the guy. I understand it's the leader who was in charge of the June coup attempt.
Yeah.
Of Putin.
It's like the rebel forces, basically.
Yeah, it was their
I
don't know, Luke Skywalker.
What's the guy in the Civil War? Who was the
Wolverine?
Frederick Douglass. No, that's the wrong one. Frederick Douglass is a good guy. Who was the president of the Confederate States?
Ron Swanson.
Why can't I think of that? Anyway, listener, you know
Pratt.
You know who I'm talking. Jefferson Davis.
That's exactly what I was going to say next.
Right?
Totally had that name on the tip of my tongue.
I think it's Jefferson Davis.
Sure.
Anyway, he's the Jefferson Davis of Russia.
Yeah, there was
your joke lost steam.
I don't know if it was a military plane. I think it was just a small passenger plane. There were 10 people on board. He was there in it, and it went down, and he died.
Yeah, it was a big deal because he was making Russia look like
duty,
a dump pile, and And we knew that
Come on, be nice, Phil.
we knew that Putin was
Be
going to
so
go
mean.
after him, but this kind of is a little frightening because, you know, it obviously shows that Putin isn't this wimpy guy everyone keeps saying he is. That
Who keeps saying that?
I don't know. People,
Every meme I ever see is like riding a freaking bear, or he's like standing in the rain, saluting his soldiers.
yeah.
He's portrayed as a freaking bad A.
Well, not here. I mean, here he's portrayed as like this witless leader who is making this huge mistake and is going to bankrupt Russia and has no control over people. Everyone's fleeing Russia and going to overthrow it, but apparently he can still like down a plane outside his country with relative ease, I would say.
I don't know, Phil. Maybe he didn't do it.
Maybe.
Maybe it just happened, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we did that.
It was-
that was me."
Al Qaeda's like, no, it was us.
Yeah, no, we did it.
So here, now I'm going to blow your mind.
No, you're not. Bill was on this show.
We did it.
Yeah,
The American force?
No,
Okay.
I mean America.
we did.
Joe Biden
You
did
and
it.
I. Oh,
It's possible.
I have a
We
sticker that
supplied
says-
all of the munitions for it
For the plane?
to go to be shot down.
Oh, yeah. Was it shot down?
Or you mean us directly?
maybe Pence did it because he wanted to stay in the war.
I don't know
maybe.
many details about how it went down.
Oh, I didn't hear if it was shot down. I thought it just went down.
We put the mountain in front of the plane and it crashed into it.
Yeah.
We built a mountain. Wow, Bill.
Well, no, because if we want the war to continue so we can profit off of it,
We shot lasers out of the sky
what better way?
and missed Hawaii and hit the plane.
What better way than to kill Russia's number one anti dude?
Maybe we shot it down with HARP. You know what that is?
Halogen
Nope.
atmosphere
The HARP facility.
HARP facility.
rope
I think Bill brought it up when he was here.
pile.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
It's a laser.
No.
Oh,
High atmospheric something. It basically
Reticulated python.
It basically takes radio and signals, and you can bounce them all over the planet.
oh,
It's a huge facility.
satellite.
in
It's
Alaska.
a facility that they say is used to essentially control the weather and create natural disasters or storms.
And if you
Oh.
focus the energy high enough, you could down a plane potentially. And the tsunami that happened in Japan. When was that?
Many years ago?
2008,
The one
Yeah.
that
something like
with
that.
the
It's a lot of- there's an
power
earthquake
plant
in the middle of the
was-
ocean. A lot of people were like, "Oh, HARP." They just focus the energy on that.
Oh,
An
really?
earthquake. Yeah. I don't know if it's. I mean,
It's
it
not,
seems fun,
but it is fun.
but I bet you could kill pigeons with it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Anyway,
Yeah, you could.
I heard that, and I thought that was like your Korea thing. That's why I interjected that.
Yeah, Korea has a couple things. They did have a failed attempt to launch a nuke, a carryable rocket or something like that. It failed.
They're kind of dumb, huh? Like they
North Korea?
Yeah, they do a lot of.
They're
tests.
pretty stupid. Yeah,
I
they're
mean, I
idiot-y.
feel like if I had enough resources, like the resources that he has, like he has the whole population under his control, that I could probably shoot a rocket pretty far. And his all seem to fail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been thinking lately that the amount of nuclear warhead, like armed missiles, that countries protest to have, the United States included, has to be total BS. Don't you think?
No,
Because what do you think the size of one of those rockets is?
they're not that big.
Oh, they're not?
Not as big as you think.
Well, the ones they shoot out of submarines aren't that big, but intercontinental...
ICB?
Yeah. They're like massive.
How
They're like
big is
several
massive?
stories tall.
ICBMs.
Yeah.
Not anymore. No,
Well, even in the Cold War, they would have had to have
I
been.
know, but it's warmed up, Phil.
Yeah. But they're like...
They're not that big. I'm serious.
the
Like
phys-
they're not like the size of this table. They're not like 9 feet tall,
But
but
I
they're
bet-
not. Here's how I know this, Kate. No joke. Up at Hill Air Force Base, and I swear if I get killed or like CIA knocking on my door because of this, they had. We were doing the soffit and fascia on this building. That the whole building was designed to service these rockets, and the bays were not that big.
Yeah.
They're not 6 stories long. They're like 45 feet long. And they said literally they had like, anyways, this facility was crazy. It had like lightning rods that had to be perfectly like placed around the whole facility because they don't want lightning striking a building while they're servicing a rocket. But they would wheel the rockets in.
But do you know those were nuclear rockets?
We have those at Hill Air Force Base.
All I know is all the pictures I've ever seen of them like servicing one, it's like you see in like a movie or whatever. It's like a huge silo underground,
like a space
several
rocket?
Stories high. It's like a big rocket.
Yeah, I don't think
Because it's got to
big.
fly all the way to freaking Russia.
And maybe they only
to
service
China.
the warheads or something like that. And the warheads are...
I'm sure they have rockets, and I'm sure they have some nuclear ones, but I think the ones that fly all the way to the other side of the world
We have ICBMs here.
are huge.
Yeah.
And I'm saying we're supposed to have how many? Like 20,000 of these things? Where are they?
Under
They're
Disney
all
World.
over the place.
Underneath Disney World.
They're just like in random towns in America?
No.
Out in the middle
I think
of the
it's pretty well
desert?
known where they're at.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
want to derail too much. I just was thinking that lately. Like, yeah, I don't know if they're
There's
20,000.
a bunch of them in Alaska. There's a bunch of them here in Utah at Hill Air Force Base. I swear up and down.
Jeff's going to die next week.
Yeah.
And probably not. But like remote places.
And also not.
Also, I'm not going to. But I don't think that ICBMs, it's not like you're going to launch it from the middle of the United States all the way to China.
You think
don't
they're
know.
all along the coast?
And I think they're placed in different, like the amount of bases that we have in like Japan,
Yeah.
and that whole stretch of islands, like we got to have something over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Well,
doubt,
oh, no,
I
I
doubt
know.
we have 200 of them in Alaska.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They got to be all over the world, like especially in submarines, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, it's a lot. So
Yeah.
many.
But from what I've heard, and I don't know how true this is, but supposedly it could blow up the Earth like 7 times. So even if it was like 7 times less than what we claim to have, you still destroy the whole.
Oh, yeah. Easily. Even if they shot off like 1,000 of them at once, and they all hit like random places in the world, it'd probably seriously mess up the Earth.
Destroy it.
Like nuclear winter, all that.
Yeah. First it'd be nuclear summer,
Yeah,
then very quickly nuclear winter.
yeah. Anyway, what's the next
Are we still recording?
3?
I don't know.
What's the next wrong third thing?
So that was the incorrect one. The other 2 are true.
Yeah.
India becomes first country to land on the south pole of the moon.
That's
They
kinda
did
cool.
recently, today, landed an unmanned craft on the moon,
That's
which
right.
is cool. That's a big deal.
I know, and I watched their video of it, and they don't even have a video of that either.
It's just land.
No, it was like a rendering of the landing that they were all watching.
It's like at a flip book.
Well, I'm sure it coincided with the sensors or whatever. But they just just watched like a cartoon lander touch down, and then they all cheered.
So you're
And
saying
it was
that-
a live real-time render of what was occurring.
Exactly.
Like, right now it's about to land. Yeah.
Oh, they
That's
were all
true.
cheering and like ecstatic. Like, yes, we did it. I was like, all you watched was like a little thing on a TV.
An animation
Yeah,
of
an
what
animation.
may have occurred.
Wouldn't that be so cool
On a
if
soundstage
the whole country just
in
got
Hollywood.
scammed by a scammer?
A hacker
Yeah, a hacker scammed them.
hacked in. No, that's cool though if they got there. But I want to see somebody land a freaking drone with high definition and film a person landing on the moon and coming out the door in like regular video,
Oh, I thought you were going to say like regular clothes.
regular clothes,
Gym shorts and
a
Crocs.
snorkel mask
A high
on.
vis shirt, like a regular person wearing American made
They
chacos.
did in 1969.
I know. Well, yeah.
Yeah. They actually did. In real life, they actually landed on the moon then,
Yeah.
at that time, on the soundstage. And Russia crashed on the moon in their attempt to land. So that's
That's right.
funny. That's funny that happened.
Yeah.
Russia.
I didn't know we built a recording studio, a sound stage on the moon. What are you saying?
What?
We built the. Oh
No.
On the moon?
Oh no.
Jake's saying we didn't land on the moon.
We built a sound stage.
Do you guys
on the
believe
moon,
we
so
did
that-
land on the moon? I don't want to derail again.
You just did. So
I
your
don't want to
desires.
derail, but I'm going to derail.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we did it when we said we did it because there's a lot of political pressure to do that.
But we eventually did?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Why has no one else done it?
They have.
Buzz Aldrin said we didn't.
Did he?
He said in a couple interviews, there was one girl that asked him, he was like sitting on stage, a bunch of people, and she asked him a question about the moon landing, and he's like, well, we didn't do it. We didn't land on the moon.
Was
But
he
I've
just
seen
joking, though?
A couple people
How much
in
did he have to
interviews say
drink?
that.
Day. I think they would have paid him enough to not say that, but I can see. I just understand this. This story is pretty intense. That the political scene at the time was pretty intense, and
Yeah.
not landing on the moon would mean things would have gone differently. I think. I don't know.
There was definitely an incentive to get there.
Right.
An incentive to fake it.
Right.
That's one of the arguments that the moon landing theorists say is because of that incentive.
We'll do like a whole episode on it. We still haven't done that.
Yeah.
We haven't.
But
It's a crazy one.
I was just curious.
Yeah, the episode with Bill was just the tip of the iceberg on our upcoming
gosh.
conspiracy theories episode.
Yep.
Okay. The 9-hour episode where we actually explain.
We'll each come to the table with our favorite conspiracy theories and just talk about them.
Where we'll make the maritime water birth law look like child's play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trent will like that.
Yeah.
In the third story, Trump surrenders and is going to jail. You're right, I titled that technically incorrectly, but he said he's going to surrender to the Attorney General, and apparently him and the 19 co-conspirators for trying to steal the 2020 election or overturn it are all going to go to the Fulton County, Georgia jail.
Except I think Mark Meadows is trying to fight it. I guess he's one of them, which I was surprised. I thought Mark Meadows was a pretty straight shooter.
Yeah. This is kind of important. Didn't Johnny Cash, was that the prison he sang about? Fulton County?
Oh, I don't know.
Was it?
He's saying at the Fulton County jail.
Live from...
Yeah, that's right.
That's a great song.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if Trump walks in like a WWE ring playing that song, I'm just... You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. That's his entrance song.
That's his entry song.
With his 19 co-conspirators behind him, or however many there were. His bond is set to $200,000.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
20,000 of it needs to be cash or
Johnny
physical
Cash.
money. See what you did there.
He comes in saying, "I came here with my cash," with a big boombox playing that song.
20,000 times.
Johnny Cash sang at the jail. But apparently it's a pretty
Folsom Prison Blues.
Fulton County? Did I say Fulton or Folsom? Folsom.
Oh, Folsom.
Fulton County Sheriff's Office.
Dang it.
So
So it wasn't it. Sorry,
No.
Jeff.
but it's apparently not a very safe jail, understaffed, pretty dangerous. So
Yeah, but
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
with the Secret Service there, the security is going to go way up.
Yeah, they'll triple the
Great.
security staff.
Yeah, Folsom State Prison. Oh man, that sucks.
Dang
I
it.
wanted them to go there.
Can they just change it?
just ruin it for me?
It's close.
Now I don't even care if he goes.
Is he going to jail, prison?
I don't know where he's going. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. Like this whole time, I felt like if he haven't been found guilty yet of all of the things that the left that people have been trying to nail him for in the last 7 years, then how could he? Like,
Yeah.
Here's all I know. If Hillary doesn't go to jail for drinking blood out of the basement of a pizza shop and he goes to jail for this, I'm just saying I think there's a messed up system. I don't think it's right.
Yeah, again, I go back to the only one of these indictments I think has any real merit is the documents one. At least from the evidence they put out in the public, because it's got him pretty much saying right in that recording. Look here, I've got these classified documents.
Now, if I was president, I could just declassify them.
Exactly. Now, it still boils back to what is the punishment for a president to mishandle classified documents after his term? Like,
well, that's not even the one they're concerned about. I think the one they're concerned about is the one from Georgia.
Well, that just happened.
Is that right?
I don't know if that one's even very serious because
it has to do with January 6th stuff, right?
Right. Well, the
Georgia one does, yeah. The whole
so that's
prison jail thing,
but not January 6th. It's more like election night is when all that happened.
Oh,
it's pretty much Trump called their guy over there and was like, "I only need 10,000 votes. Why can't we find 10,000?"
Yeah.
And from his side of the story, he's saying, they keep playing that snippet, but apparently right before that, he was saying, I'm hearing reports there's got to be at least like 10 or 15,000 illegal votes in your state. So all you got to do is find me 10,000 illegal votes. Right. He wasn't saying find me 10,000 votes, find 10,000 illegal to eliminate, which is kind of the same thing. I don't know.
But at the same time, wouldn't that be like, hey, if we could get 30 criminals off the street, we'd have 30 less criminals to deal with.
Right. I see what he was saying. I don't think there's any like criminal merit to it. It probably wasn't the best thing to say.
But here's my thing. The boy who cried wolf. They're attacking him over the stupidest stuff, and they've been attacking him since day one. Russia collusion, peeing on strippers, whatever. I don't even know all the things that they've accused him of.
Yeah.
And what's come from any of them?
Exactly.
Nothing.
Yep.
But it's like if they keep throwing attention at it, that seems to be the tactic. I'm not saying he didn't do anything, or he's perfect, or he's the greatest guy, but it's just really suspicious that they're pushing on Trump so hard. Is he really that bad of a guy? And maybe he is. But it's just really weird that these, news agencies with their spin rooms are putting it into perspective the way that they want it to go for some reason.
I mean, it's
even the debates tonight, who Donald Trump isn't even attending. Did you notice that every discussion is about Donald Trump?
Oh, I didn't watch it.
Well,
did you watch it?
No, just talking on the radio, listen to people on the radio, listen to people talking about it. They're talking about Trump nonstop.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we're talking to DeSantis. Blah, 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 blah. How are you going to address Trump? It's like, who cares? He's not here.
January 6th, documentation. What do you,
How do you feel about this? Blah, 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 blah. Like talking to all these other candidates. And it's like, Trump. Like, why do you keep bringing Trump up? He's not even coming to this thing.
They're just making him more valid the more they bring him up.
They're putting him in your face and making him see. Anyway, I think they want to get a mugshot of him. They want him to be in prison.
The thing that looks really bad to me is the fact that all these indictments came after he announced he was running for president again, instead of the 2 years, prior. Especially with the porn star one that happened clear like 6 years ago.
Yeah. Like,
what was the point of waiting clear, and why couldn't they announce it right after he left the office?
Right.
Well, and also his indictments are like back to back to back, and they're being scheduled now.
Yeah.
And it's like so conveniently, like once one's done, the next one starts.
Yeah.
It's like right before the primary election, and then
It's just like, I guess all I'm trying to say is somebody out there is trying to paint him very, very poorly.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's not bad. I'm just saying it's obvious
they're
that
clearly making efforts to make him
right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's obvious to everyone on both sides, that they want to get Trump, no matter, like, they don't want Trump to run. And there may be some good argument to that. I mean, I think personally, like, I have voted for Trump in the past, but I am kind of like, this guy kind of took a dump on America. I don't know.
Been indicted for that, that, right?
Exactly.
Taking a dump on America.
And
public defecation.
But at the same time, Biden
On the public.
Biden is like,
I think Biden's no better.
No better, exactly. Like, I kind of swing back and forth. Which one's worse, and why?
Why are you deciding in between the worst ones?
Why are we just exactly? Why are we focusing on the worst two candidates?
Let's pick the best, worst two.
Like of everyone that you've ever heard of that might be running for president for this election cycle, those have got to be the two worst guys.
Yeah, they're in their 80s,
and
negative.
they're the front. They're the front runners, and they're tied. Like, it's like I just don't know how we got
Well,
here.
I think at least the media wants to portray the possibility that the majority of America who listens to politics is either always Trump or never Trump.
Yeah.
And if you're never Trump, then you're automatically for the front runner against him.
Yeah.
I think Congress should just pass a law so we could get two 41-year-old presidents instead of like an 82-year-old president.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think the age is the issue. I think it's just.
Well, I think it is for one of the candidates.
Well, I think
for
think
Biden,
so.
it's definitely an issue.
Yeah.
I see him walking around, and I'm like, I have been in old folks' homes. Like, this guy needs to be in a home.
Yeah.
The way he holds his hands out, like Mr. Burns, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And he's like kind of confused. And he doesn't really know what to do with his hands, so he just holds them out in front of him.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, dude, this is not good.
No.
Yeah, and it was that way, I thought, before he even got elected.
Yeah,
But,
leader of the free world. He's a prisoner in his own body.
yeah.
Like, it's a nightmare. I think they inject him with drugs to get him hyped up for speeches.
Yeah. And I have seen, like, his speeches are hit and miss. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I think this guy can handle it. And then another time I'm like, how are we not, like, impeaching this guy right now? Like, oh, he can't speak. Let's get him off of there. Cut it. Where's the cut guy that says cut? This is the end of this scene.
Yeah.
Like,
This will be funny to one person that listens to us, and I don't even know who, but like when there's a horse salesman, I think that's who's like in charge of Trump or Biden. Horse salesmen used to do weird things to the horses to make them seem younger, but really they're just old. Like they'd file their teeth in a certain way. They would literally inject them with like nitroglycerin from a dynamite stick because it peps them up and makes them all like spunky like
and
a
like
pony.
comb their hair with oil and stuff. Yeah.
And I think that's who's running Biden right now.
Yeah.
So
Greasing him up,
he's got
injecting him with nitroglycerin.
Ramsey's eyes are number one. Biden's nose is number one.
Setting his speech time to 13 minutes and 12 seconds because that's when the lights start melting the wax.
They know that's when he starts to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And his earlobes get detached.
his and then reattached.
Oh.
Yeah, Trump, I don't know what's going to happen, but I really think this documents one. He just doesn't have his, and in fact, William Barr, his Trump's attorney general, has come out and said this is a slam dunk case, like, which means like.
But then what does that mean? Prison time?
Against Trump?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
No, it doesn't. I'm just going to tell you right now. No.
It won't for Trump. And I actually kind of think, like, if you've been the president of the United States, the bar should be really high for filing criminal charges against you. I'm not saying they should, like, have a pass on everything, but they're charging him for something that is connected to his presidency, right? He took documents while he was president. Afterwards, he said that, they're classified or whatever, but, and I forgot where I was going with this. But,
I think what you were going to wrap up with was that every president
A
does
slam dunk case.
well, that, but also like that is the most powerful person in the world. In human history, each president is, right? They have the most power of any person, any king ever. Like, there should be some respect and autonomy, I would think. And but the comment comes back like, well, they're not above the law. And I think that should be true too. I just think that going after them in this way should require a very high bar. Like, they should have killed someone or had someone killed or, like, ate a bunch of babies.
Bunch?
Yeah.
One's
like
not enough.
More than one.
Okay.
And if they eat more than one baby, then yeah, go after them. But
all the adrenochrome.
These things seem like political, because if different people were in the positions of power of these prosecutors, these governors, these people who are going after him, if different people were in that position and wouldn't prosecute him, then that means it's political. It should be something that no matter who it is, what spectrum of politics they're on, for sure, this is wrong, we have to prosecute him. If it's that situation, then yeah. And they should, but I don't know. It's the president of the United States.
I agree with you to an extent. There's got to be a limitation, but I'm sure the crap that he did in office, every president has ever done in office, I guarantee there's worse things than leaving some stuff in your bathroom. Well,
and the thing is I think they already have a large amount of immunity while they're in office.
Yeah.
Trump's being specifically, well, except for obviously the whole like insurrection thing, January 6th, and the Georgia stuff, that's all concerning while he's in office. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. And it's like, and then on the other side, Biden's son is now like getting, I guess they like kind of overturned his sweetheart deal. And so that's going to be better now or something.
Or worse. Yeah.
Or worse for him. Better for the law, worse for him.
Yeah. Good story, bro. Yeah. We should make a children's book about this.
Yeah. It's called Trump.
One indictment, 2 indictment, 3 indictment, fish?
Yeah.
Wait, or 4?
One indictment, 2 indictment, red indictment, blue indictment.
That's right.
I like it. Yeah.
Get it? Red and blue.
Yeah, Jake. It's great.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Next story.
Speaking of crazy.
Next.
So the main topic I wanted to talk about was one of 2 things. And they're huge on the news right now. And there's
weather.
a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Uh-huh.
The first one is what's going on in Maui.
Oh, yeah, all the fires.
The fires.
You're saying because you think it was lasers?
Well,
I thought that was crazy because how is Hawaii having wildfires? It's a tropical island.
They had a small fire and then they had like hurricane force winds.
Yeah. So
did they?
So we'll paint the picture. So obviously Maui, Lahaina, which is a city in Maui, was completely obliterated by fires. They had hurricane force winds. And the shady stuff, when I say what's going on with Maui, it's like, pun not intended, been the perfect storm of just crazy crap happening.
Right.
So Hawaii has like the most technologically advanced storm notification system in the world. And when the hurricane winds or the storm came through, there was no notification, no notice of the public that the storm was coming, which is one failed thing on their part. Another one was they didn't cut the power, which is part of the protocol of a huge storm like that. They didn't cut the power to the power lines. And so the wind, I saw a video of power lines just bending. And I think that's what may have started the fire, that people say the power lines hit the ground. And anyway, fire started, winds made it worse. And then also they turned off the water so that they couldn't extinguish the fires. And it was like just one thing after another that made it like, why in the heck did it turn out like this? It was like
wow.
the Katrina Hurricane Katrina of Hawaii, and it's just crazy. So many people are super upset about it. You know, you have videos circulating of lasers being shot out of the sky, and a lot of crazy stuff.
Mean?
There's
lasers being shot out of the sky.
No.
Lasers from satellites.
Satellites?
Mm-hmm.
Or like
Shooting.
the Russians, or like people have speculated that
Russia attacked Hawaii.
Yeah, somebody shot Hawaii with some lasers
HARP.
and lit it on fire. HARP. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just the monster from that one show. The Hawaii show, the cartoon with Hey in it. The turtle or the chicken.
Moana,
thank you. You remember, the fire monster? And then I thought that the Rock was just going to go handle it.
Taka.
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
The lava monster.
Taka.
The lava monster.
Yeah, the lava monster. And then Dwayne the Rock Johnson was just going to handle it.
He didn't handle it, but he did go
Is
try
he
and
working on it?
He did go and try to help people.
He
on the
probably
island.
really did. He's a decent guy.
And it's just been really weird because they won't let any news agencies or reporters in.
Oh, really?
They wouldn't let people out trying to drive away. They were stopping people from going out.
Where are you getting this info? Because this is crazy. I haven't heard any of it.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I follow a lot of people who on like YouTube and stuff that live in Hawaii and are like self-proposed like journalists, and they go around and talk to people, and they're like, you can't be here, you can't report here. But there are news agencies that I've read, news articles I've read where people just aren't allowed to go in. So there's a whole lot of stuff that's unknown because they won't let people in. They wouldn't let people out. They wouldn't let like charitable organizations in. If you weren't FEMA, you couldn't go in and donate water, clothes, food, all the necessities for the people that live there.
And doesn't FEMA want like $70 billion more dollars, or they wanted $700 million more dollars or something like that because of this disaster?
I don't know.
Yeah, it seems weird. You know what seems weird to me is that I've heard there's like 115 people found dead and 1,100 missing.
Yeah, it's well over 1,000 people are either dead or missing. Most of them missing. But
does that mean that they just have poor records and they all bailed? They all got on their fishing boats and went to the next island?
Well, there were even boats in the water that were burning. It was crazy.
That is weird.
The fire was insane. But
well, I mean, if I had insurance on my boat, and
then you'd have a campfire on it.
I would have
just like light it on.
Yeah.
Yep. Burned in that thing.
It was
$6
weird
million.
to me. I hadn't heard all that stuff you said. I'd only heard that it burned and a bunch of people died. And my first thought was like, Hawaii's a tropical island. I haven't been there, but if it's anything like the Philippines, people would like be in a dense forest in the Philippines. Ferns and brush and trees, and they'd chop down a couple trees that are just like laying in a ton of plants and just like light a fire there. Like there's no like, let's clear an area.
There's not like in the desert where you need to have like a 50-foot space around a fire in order to be...
There's not like that. You can light anything you want on fire anywhere and then just leave it. Like, just go about your day as it burns. Well, it would never catch and spread, is my point.
It's like when we were camping in the Redwoods. It's like we could barely start a fire.
Yeah.
Period. We could have thrown a whole lit log into the woods and it would have just gone out.
Yeah.
It's so damp and wet and
exactly
humid there. I don't think Hawaii is quite like that.
Oh, maybe not.
But I think it is close. I think it's closer.
When you apply 100-mile-an-hour plus winds
and that
to
could
a fire, that's going to make it a lot easier to burn.
And that could be
a laser.
Because if you remember when we were in the Redwoods, the way we got our fire going was with my little
your air mattress
blower. Yeah. And so that wind potentially does make a big difference.
Wasn't that called Little Hurricane?
Yeah,
Lil
Hurricane.
Lil Hurricane.
But it was crazy. I hadn't heard all that other stuff. I certainly hadn't heard 1,000 people were missing. That's even crazier. Because I was like, 100 people, that sucks. That's a lot of people, but
Yeah, over 1,000 missing. You're
Yeah.
like, how big is the space? And the only thing that I've heard that made sense is like second and 2 and 3 and 4-story buildings, they can't search them because they're so damaged.
yeah.
So like, yeah, okay, you had an apartment complex that's 4 stories high. You can't search the upper floors. There could be 100 people up there, or a hotel, or who knows,
Yeah.
But still, that's a lot of people. And I'm guessing that a lot of people got off the island or left the area and didn't notify the right people to go, okay, we're over here or whatever. So I'm sure they're going to track a lot of that down. But what do you have here, Jake?
This is one of the several videos that I watched, people filming just on their phones during the fires. And you'll notice these flashes in the sky. People are saying
Lots of people are telling me.
The lasers.
They're saying that it was lasers from the sky. See if maybe the audio
I'm
can
seeing
come
it.
through.
No, we don't need audio. I don't think. Okay, so if there's fire, those are big flames, my friend, and lots of
Yeah, it
smoke.
looks like a nudular weapon
see
has
that?
gone
Yeah,
off.
you know what that is?
Watch it.
That is. Yeah, you know what that
Lightning.
is? It's actually fires when they start putting particles and smoke into the air will trigger lightning.
Yeah.
It's very, very common, actually. It looked like lightning to me.
It was a flash of light that came from the sky.
Okay, no, that's not
That's a
not
laser.
real.
Yeah.
That's 100%. That wasn't just a laser. That was like a
What you just showed us was like Dragon Ball Z.
yeah.
It's like,
This is Ryu from Street Fighter.
yeah.
Ryu. Yeah.
He shot a flame.
Yeah, I'm going to call lightning on that too.
Yeah, the laser thing is a little far-fetched, but the way it was handled seems really fishy.
Yeah.
Get it? Because it's an island and it's fish.
Probably fish died or
Well, I could see Hawaii because Hawaii is so dependent on tourism.
Yeah.
I could see them like wanting to cover up like any incompetence, like if it was some big accident, like we happened to drop the ball on the reporting system and the water at the same time, and because of that,
Steve
all these
left the
people are
stove on.
dead. I could see them like not letting people leave and not letting people investigate, and not letting the media in. Like, I don't know.
Well, apparently, I think I can't remember if it was a government or some non-GMO,
Non-GMO?
NGO, non-government organization that has been wanting for a long time to start a smart city in Lahaina.
Oh.
And so, and
Like a 15-minute city?
I don't know.
Is that where like everything's anyway?
Yeah, everything's smart technology based. It's kind of like a demo beta city to see how that would work. But it would make sense that in order to finally, because Maui, Hawaii didn't want to give this part of the island up for this smart city, because it's not only is it a heavy tourist city, but there's a lot of ancient Hawaiian things that have been there for a long time, and natives and stuff like that. So, I don't know if it would be a case of eminent domain now that this city is a result of a natural disaster.
So
what
you're
can the
saying
government do to come in and now rebuild it and become the smart city
Yeah,
that
they
they've always
want the
wanted?
land, so they shot it with the freaking laser.
Like I said, the laser thing is a little far-fetched to me, but
Oh, you're saying they burned down like the native culture to make way for like a modern thing?
well, based on the way that we know it was handled, it looks as though it was allowed to happen.
Yeah.
They knew the hurricane was coming. They didn't shut off the power. They shut off the water. They didn't notify the people. They won't let news organizations in to cover anything. They won't let relief in unless you're like an official NATO, relief program.
The freaking laser.
Freaking lasers out
Yeah,
of their
it's
eyes.
strange.
Sharks with lasers.
I would say it's strange. I mean, it was strange to have a fire there at all, but I don't know. Maybe it's like common. Maybe they have like 100 fires a year, or I don't know.
It's a freaking laser.
That's what caused it.
No,
you
honestly,
think?
my first reaction was it's a freaking volcano. Like,
Yeah.
of course they have some kind of protocol in place.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's lava 1 foot under the ground.
At all moments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Buildings built out of lava,
Heating it all up.
obsidian.
Getting
Just
it
throw
ready.
some water on it. Hashtag Minecraft.
But they couldn't throw water on it.
That's true.
It didn't have
The
any.
water was shut off.
Freaking laser.
Shut the water off. That's crazy. You'd think that they'd be like, hey, there's a fire, turn the water back on.
Or like, hey, there's a fire. Let's go into the water.
But I mean, that video you just showed was nuts. Like, it looked like a nuclear weapon had gone off. It was just like rolling clouds of fire.
It was big. And
I mean, it's wet, too.
I've been watching a lot of the videos of people, just individual people filming what they see, and it's been really crazy how cars melted on the street, and it was just
Yeah.
completely obliterated.
Some of the images looks like Will Smith would walk out like with his dog.
And fires can get pretty nuts. Did you see that fire movie a little while back? I want to say Jeff Bridges was in it.
That fire movie.
Wasn't Backdraft, but it was a true story about a fire crew, I think in Arizona, that died because like the wind shifted all of a sudden. Like
Bowling for Columbine.
No, it was a real.
Trumbo.
It wasn't a documentary. It was a movie based on a real event.
Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yes, that's it. You guessed it correctly.
Thank you.
But that's what happened. They were like on a hill or something, watching the fire like a mile away, and all of a sudden the wind shifted, and the guys
right
like
for 'em.
everyone hit the ground, and they have these like special little tents they pull over themselves, but that didn't do anything. It just cooked them all.
Yeah, it's great.
like
Yeah,
that.
it's like a
They
oven.
wrap themselves in
the
tinfoil.
tinfoil dinner.
tinfoil. And
Yeah, it's sad. It was a real sad movie and an event, obviously, but
I think I recall that movie, but I don't remember what it is,
but
what it's called.
But that was the first time I really realized like wildfires can be like crazy dangerous. So crazy that like unless you're in a vehicle with a straight shot to get out of there, you can't
Yeah.
physically outrun it.
No.
Well, there were like tall palm trees that they were saying the fires were being blown so far or fast by the wind that it was like burning horizontally, and a lot of the
Shearing 'em?
high trees, the tops aren't even burned. 'Cause
Wow.
it just burned right through, the top 10, 30, whatever, 40 feet, or the bottom 30, 40 feet, and everything else above it survived.
Wow, that is crazy.
Which is a lot of good carbon for the future animal or future plants. to grow.
For the future smart city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Grow a lot of
Exactly.
asparagus there.
Yeah. So
Yeah, exactly.
anyway, Maui, the whole situation's crazy. I've been looking a lot into that. And then aliens exist. We can talk about that another time, but
Yeah.
Oh,
That's good. I'm glad
next
aliens exist.
episode.
we keep putting that one off.
I know every
But-
time we're like, let's talk about aliens,
But what
and we
the
don't.
heck? They're saying aliens are real. Some people.
I know that's basically the end of the conversation.
Oh, yeah,
The end.
that's about it.
And people in Peru who are getting their faces melted off by floating aliens.
Oh,
Sounds-
The Peruvian aliens, you hear about that?
I didn't hear
the
about
face
that.
melters.
Nope.
Yeah,
Next
just Google
episode.
Peru aliens, and we'll talk about it in the future.
Okay,
So
good.
we appreciate everybody who's here with us,
Yeah.
and we're thank you for listening. This has been episode 99 of the American Fork Podcast. Number 100 is going to be so big. Share it
Well,
with
Is
your
it?
friends.
Bill's
get-
in charge. Is it
Get
going to be
everyone in the world to subscribe so they can listen to episode 100 and then unsubscribe if you don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, now the pressure's on.
big? Yeah, Bill, you're hosting. You better not screw this up.
I am going
We
to.
better record this from Donald Trump's cell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if anything less will be unacceptable.
We should have him on. We still need to get him on and Biden together.
We should have him and Post Malone on
And
the same
Mitt
episode.
Romney.
Oh, yeah. And Mitt Romney and Don Cheadle.
We'll have a nice
Post Malone
round
just
table.
bought a $2.5 million Magic the Gathering card.
Ooh,
Just
Wow.
saw that
sounds
in
good.
my.
Is he going to play it on you? He's going to like
Yeah,
throw
he's
that
gonna
baby down, and he'll be like, "Oh no!" He's
Oh, no,
holding it
you're-
in his deck, and it's like all in a case.
Your HP's only 100. You can't.
You don't even know.
No, I don't. Anyway,
Better
thanks for
end this
listening.
before I punch you.
Bye
Back
bye.
and Forth Podcast. Bye.